This is Activity 2.1 on page 28, Collaborating on a Workbook. The file we'll be working with in this activity is Regional Salaries Collated. As a member of the Human Resources Department, you have a workbook that lists all employee salaries by region. It was collated by sending out separate files to each department and then manually combining them. As you review it, you decide that you want to collaborate with the other departmental managers by adding comments. In addition, you need to make sure the workbook meets accessibility rules before you share it with senior management. Finally, you decide to export the workbook as a PDF for the benefit of the recipients who might not be Excel users. So I'm on my desktop. I'm going to start by launching Excel. And from my start page, I'm going to select Open Other Workbooks and click on my Browse button. I want to navigate to my home drive. This is Excel Part 3. And Lesson 2 is titled Sharing and Protecting Workbooks. And again, the file we want is Regional Salaries Collated. I'm going to select that and click Open. And before I make any changes to my workbook, I'm going to do a Save As. Go to File, Save As, save it to my current folder, Sharing and Protecting Workbooks, and I'm going to update the name of the file to My Regional Salaries Collated. Click Save. Number 2, insert a comment notifying users of what is in the workbook. You want to make sure that you're on worksheet 1 or the worksheet of sheet 1. And we're going to select cell C1, which is our salary header. I'm going to go up to the Review tab on my ribbon, and in my Comments group, I'm going to select New Comment. A little box pops up with my name, and I'm going to insert the comment, "Please verify the salaries for each of the reps in your region." And you can click outside of that box into any other cell to save that comment. You can see I get the red triangle in the upper right-hand corner of cell C1, and when I hover over that cell, it does display the comment. Number 3, use the accessibility checker to identify issues and begin to correct them. I'm going to go to my File tab to access my Backstage view. And from my Info tab, I'm going to select the drop-down for Check for Issues. And I'm going to check the accessibility of the document. So this is for checking the workbook for content that people with disabilities might find difficult to read. So this is for people that may be using screen readers. Maybe they have a vision impairment, so the screen reader actually reads what's on the screen for them. So some instances of, let's say, a graphic, for instance, a screen reader would not be able to recognize that. So this will check for accessibility if there's anything, any type of things like that in the document that might need a description added to them. Okay, so we'll check for accessibility. This opens up the accessibility checker task pane to the right of our worksheet. And it shows us that there is one error and 2 warnings. So the error is the chart on our summary worksheet. The average salary chart is missing alternative text. So again, a screen reader might not be able to describe what this object is. So alternative text, you can add a description to read out loud to that person with a disability. And then the other warnings, default sheet name, it's telling me I should probably add a better worksheet name to sheet 1 with a better description. And then hard to read text contrast on sheet 1. So it's telling me the range A1 through C51. So someone with a visual impairment, you can see it's in gray text. It might be hard for some people to read because the contrast from the white background to the gray text is not that great. So we're going to double click sheet 1, the tab name, and we're going to rename this to salaries. So that gives the person a better description of what is on this particular worksheet. And you can see that the warning for that sheet name has now disappeared. Letter C, select the entire worksheet and select Home, Styles, Cell Styles to pull down to the pull down arrow and select Normal. So I'm going to select my whole entire worksheet for my salaries. I'm going to go to my Home tab, and in my Styles group, I'm going to select the Cell Styles drop-down, and we're going to apply the normal style. So you can see it's a better contrast for someone reading that. It doesn't have that gray text anymore. And I can click anywhere outside to deselect, and you can see now that warning has been removed from the accessibility checker. Number 4, fix the missing alternative text. We're going to go to our Summary tab. I'm going to select the chart, and I can right-click anywhere in that white space, and we're going to select Edit Alt Text. And this opens up another task pane. How would you describe this object and its context to someone who is blind? So again, if a screen reader was reading them what was on screen, what would be a good description for this particular chart? We're going to enter the alt text, chart of the average salary for sales reps by region. And you can see as I started typing that the error in my accessibility checker for the missing alt text has been removed. All right, I don't have to save this. It automatically saves for me. I can close out that alt text task pane. Again, no warnings or errors are shown in my accessibility checker anymore. No accessibility issues found. People with disabilities should not have difficulty reading this workbook. So I can close out that task pane as well. I'm going to go up to my quick access toolbar. I'm going to save my updates. And then lastly, number 5, we're going to export the workbook in PDF format. So if I was sending this file to someone who maybe doesn't have Excel on their computer, a PDF would be better for them to read. They will be able to open up a PDF on their computer even if they don't have the Microsoft Excel application. So I can do that by going to File. I can go to Export. And here I have the option to create PDF. I'm going to click on that button. And this brings me to the Publish as PDF or XPS dialog box. So this is the same as saving as a PDF. There's a few different ways that you can save as a PDF. You can do a save as and just change the save as type to PDF. You can export it like how we just did, or you can even go to print and choose your printer as print to PDF format. So there's a few different ways to do that. All right, so here we're just going to let me see. We're going to keep the same name, that we have of my regional salaries collated. Double check that your save as type is PDF, and we are going to open the file after publishing. So we want to see what this PDF is going to look like. So make sure that is checked off, and we're going to select publish. And it should automatically launch your application. Usually it's either in your Google Chrome, it might be in Internet Explorer or Adobe Acrobat if you have that on your computer. If you get a box that pops up, choose which program you want to open your PDF in, you can choose Google Chrome. But you can see here now we have our PDF for my regional salaries collated. All right, and you can close that out. I'm just going to minimize it. And we can leave this workbook open for our next activity.